you in the office,
This
you
is
were
your
coming.
formal invitation.
I have not gotten a formal.
This is your formal invitation.
You were
right
standing
here.
in Brittany's office and I said, I wrote you down for the job fair.
Okay, do you need
Well, there's
paper?
not, I didn't get a paper to say what time I need to be there,
Here.
what,
Because it's recently changed.
What time again? 1
One.
Here's Stephanie.
1 to 4?
1 to probably, put 1 to 3.
do we get like a booth, like a 4x8? What,
Yes. You get a,
Yes.
you,
a 2x3?
I'm setting it up like a college fair.
You know how long it's
Been
been since I've been to a
recess
college
I've
fair?
never been to a college fair.
We almost
Like how many-
you have your own table.
It depends,
18
because
years.
we sell 8-footers, we sell card table size and full table size, so. it just-
One?
You know roughly how many vendors you normally have?
Oh, no, but I could find out pretty easily.
I just wondered for her, just like the bazaar, just wondering how many vendors they normally have.
There's lots of questions.
I have a vision in my head.
Poor
I
girl.
do a lot of college fairs.
I would just mean like, I wonder how many we're gonna fit in the space.
Yeah, do we need to bring our own tables and
No.
stuff? You have that now.
All you have to do is show up after I invite you.
I've never been.
Dear
invited.
Stephanie.
Yeah, don't feel that.
You are
Right.
cordially
Wait,
invited.
she's right.
Where's mine? It does say Dear Stefan and Sam.
Sam, you get your own,
Okay. That sounds good.
because I'll lose it, so.
This is like classroom notes, there's no passing notes for anything.
the library.
Just saying.
When is the job?
Oh,
We're gonna change the clock. You're the person. Missy looks up at like halfway through the day one day, she's like, I'm gonna change the clock. I wonder who did that. Like, the only person that can actually reach the clock changed it.
Yeah, Stephanie, you should probably stand up there.
I thought you just said one.
Looks like Brittany can probably reach it.
She said start at
So
nine.
he can lay
Verbally,
on
she said start at 1.
I don't know, I'll tell her, yeah.
9.5. Like that term.
I used to be 5'10", I don't know if I am anymore.
I'm doing something like this, I always measure me 5.5, I never got to be 5'10" on my physics. I'm like,
I was 5'9.5", and then I grew up into college, but I got to 5'10".
I just don't know. I tried.
Lisa, did you have the outreach to for the?
I want to set it up for actual
Yeah,
class though.
Because the cats
Well, that's
were
what I was, I didn't know, I was gonna leave that up to somebody.
Well,
when I was
so
leaving
I was
the
thinking about it a
ranch.
lot after Brittany and I were
So they
when
just-
Travis was talking for his national day.
Oh, no.
Then I go inside the
Each
shop
one
and I
would
push button and I'm like, oh.
Cause I offered to help him.
We
He's
didn't.
like, he's going to the action.
Oh.
And so I had a crew to cook more, and then
No.
I got the Fridgen, but then I got new appliances in my kitchen. So Jeff he shut off the breaker, and we got all the appliances in. It took a long time, and we were hooking them up. Jeff turns the brake on, nothing works. And it was like, oh no, what is going on?
Oh, no.
We struggled and struggled, and then we were like, are there lights over there?
What are the odds of it happening the same day you're doing that?
Right when we turn it on.
Oh, my goodness. What, that's crazy.
And so he finally called,
You
my
probably
phone
felt
wouldn't work at all. And his did, so he called Southeast Electric, he says,
I was not even really.
they're off till 4, and I had to be in town to do some stuff for him, and I said,
For the
guys, I'm in the shower.
Do I shampoo? Sam says it's the best man.
She works in 1 year.
He came on early.
Well,
So
he
there's
was in the yard next
So catch.
door, but they say we just roll.
Yep.
Call this meeting to order. You stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry. Sorry.
I didn't know that.
Continue, Lisa.
Sorry.
Read the agenda and we'll proceed as presented. I don't believe there was any public comment from the previous meeting. Recognition and reports. The 11th grade class.
You guys want to talk first? Go ahead and show that first.
We have a little procedure.
Take those down.
I don't have.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
the.
go
back. Right here.
You should restart.
Hi, I'm Bella Jensen.
Clay Ross.
Just
Jim
grab it.
Fry.
Sorry.
Why do you guys have to make the rest of us
Hi, I'm Bella Jensen.
Clay Ross. Jim Fry. Hi, my name is Brett. Brady Montgomery.
Hi, I'm Corlin Lawfrey.
Oh, I'm Melvin Morris.
Good evening, I'm Nancy O'Connor. Memorable.
Wild. Fine. Good. Okay.
Entertaining.
Basketball. I feel like it brings me closer to other students.
FFA because I get to meet new people and do things I like.
Basketball because of the girls I get to do it with.
Basketball because it's fun until you lose out with your streaks to Zach Jones.
Basketball has meant the most to me because I get to play with my best friends and have fun.
FFA has taught me leadership and life skills, and I have also got the opportunity to meet so many new people and make new friends. Time management.
I feel like I've learned how to interact with younger students better.
How to socialize better.
Learned how to play guitar.
I'm outgoing, which will help me in the future.
I've learned to play basketball and it will make me better for next year.
I've learned to not care what I wear to school to help me not care what people think in the future.
I hope our class teaches students to stay in school and get a high school degree.
That a class can get along, be good in school, and do good in sports all at once.
I hope my class can leave behind a legacy that class can get along and work together on things.
Get out in the world and try new things.
You can play sports and still do good in school.
I hope my class leaves behind a legacy of kindness. I hope it leaves behind a legacy that other younger students can look up to and admire.
Our district could better support students by giving us more opportunities for hands-on learning and career exploration.
By teaching the students real life skills. More snow days.
Snow days when the roads get really bad.
The district can better support students and athletes with more snow days and days off.
The district does a pretty good job.
There we go.
No, because I'll have more responsibilities, and that's only if I'm excited for one more year of sports. I'm not very excited for my senior year. I'm glad it'll be over though. No, I feel like time is moving a little too fast, but I'm excited for sports.
No, because I'm not going to be here this year.
I am super excited for my senior year, and I'm really excited to get to make more memories with my friends.
Yes, because it's my last year and I get to move on, and I'm excited for one more year of sports and fun.
Yes and no, I don't want to leave my childhood friends and family, but I'm excited to go away from ECLAC and experience new things, and I'm excited for one last year in sports and school here.
Yes and no, I'm excited for the new opportunities that senior year in life out of ECLAC will bring me, but it's sad leaving my friends, family, and life I've always known.
That's how they go.
Here.
Hi, I'm Nancy O'Connor, and I'm the president of the junior class.
I'm Corlin Lawfrey, and I'm vice president of the junior class.
And we're going to talk about what we're learning in this school.
And extracurriculars.
So FCCLA, state FCCLA is next week from March 20th to 21st. Me and Kendra Tuke will be presenting about sports nutrition, and we're going to go in full detail about proper nutrition and hydration needs for female athletes. We will be discussing for the judges and try to qualify for nationals in Orlando, Florida.
Woo-hoo!
In FFA, we are going to state in a couple of weeks, and last week we involved elementary students by doing different workshops they could go to with different events happening. This year we traveled to Helena for Fusion, Broadus Baker, Mouse City for districts, Bozeman for John Deere Ag Expo, and we'll soon be going there. There are many kids in it this year, and that do all different events.
Our calculus class is really small. It's just me and Kendra Tuke. We're learning about limits and derivatives. Limits describe a function and how it behaves at a certain point, and it's easier to see limits of a function in graphs.
In English, we are learning different styles of writing and different techniques. We have also been learning about punctuation and the different ways it can be used in a sentence.
In physics, the past couple of weeks in physics, we have talked about projectiles and trajectory. We did a lab using a stuffed monkey and projectiles and had to launch the projectiles when the monkey dropped from the ceiling and calculate exactly where it was going to hit.
In accounting, we are learning about bookkeeping and how to do different accounts from different positions. It has taught us how to keep a journal throughout the months.
Math, we're learning about trigonometry. It comes from the Greek words trigonon, meaning triangle, and metron, meaning measure. So trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the relationship between side and angles of a triangle. Now we're learning about the law signs and finding missing angles and sides of a triangle, giving angle side angle or sine angle.
In advanced biology, we are learning about the systems of the body. Each person is assigned a system and has to present a slideshow about it as well as a working model. The systems we are learning about now are cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, lymphatic, nervous, immune, and excretory system.
And in history, we just finished talking about World War II and just started talking about the Cold War. Our class is broken up into groups and covers different sections of events during the Cold War, such as women's rights movements, workplace problems, discrimination, and other small wars happening like the Vietnam War and Korean War. And that's all we have today.
Good job, girls. Thank you. You guys did really good. Colt. You got extra.
I will take one. Thank you. I can carry it.
Dave's gonna join by phone.
Dave, can you hear me? Alright, you got a chance to speak about it.
Alright, thank you.
Colt is just gonna present to us.
Hi, as most of you know, I'm Colt Jesperson. I'm here tonight to speak to you about the recent success I have had at the Ray Gowers NRCHA Celebration of Champions in Fort Worth, Texas, at the Will Rogers Equestrian Center. Each year in February, the top riders in NRCHA come together for 3 weeks in Fort Worth, Texas, to compete for the very coveted World Championship titles. Each class features the top riders in the United States, Canada, and Europe. Show year that ends December 31st of each year is tallied for money earned, shows attended, and then the riders are invited to compete in February based on their year-end standings. This year was really great because myself, my sister, Kai, my dad, our coach, best friend, Travis Young, all competed at the Celebration of Champions. I competed in the youth women's boxing, youth cowboys, and the cowboy class. Next year, I'm hoping to compete in the youth North Grace Horsemen, youth cowboys, and the cowboy class, and the national National High School Showcase. Rank cow horse originated from the training methods of California vaqueros, Spanish and Mexican cowboys. They need highly versatile horses to manage large cattle herds on vast ranches. Cow horse has evolved from the ranch to the arena, where cow horse run that consists of a battery, boxing, angle fencing with cow, and circling cow both directions in the middle of the arena. For the reining portion, you load a 2 or 3 circle pattern consisting of a large fast circle and one small circle, completing them with varying degrees of speed. Then you switch leads and go the other direction. When you switch leads, you cannot stop or break gait, which means a horse cannot trot or stop. Either action would result in 0 or severe minus points or penalties. Then do the same at the other end of the arena. After your second set of circles, you switch leads, burn down center of the arena, and come to a sliding stop at the very end of the arena. After you stop, you do 3.5 spins to the left. After you are done with your spins, you run in the center of the arena. After you are done with your second stop, you spin to the right. You run down the center once again to come to a sliding stop and back at least 10 times for 10 steps. You straight line the center of the arena. And off your cow. Then you work your cow, which consists of holding your cow on one end of the arena. The point of the boxing is to show the judges you have control of the cow and you can push it in any direction. After you've complete control of the cow, you take it down the fence and you have to pass the center marker before you can turn it and go the other way. Then you make another fence turn. After your fence turns, you go and push it in a circle in the middle of the arena. You go to the left once, then to the right, and then you're running complete. In cow horse, you start out in a limited boxing, which means you do a reining pattern and then keep your cow box at the end of the arena. When you master this, you usually enter the full cow horse, which means you bang box your cow and then run your cow down the fence, completing the maneuver for full cow. Once you compete in a full cow horse, you go down the fence, you're only allowed to win $750, or you weren't allowed in just the boxing class anymore. This year was the first year I competed in the full cow horse classes. The World Show was the last time I will compete in the boxing classes. I won out of them, and I will compete only classes where I can go down the fence. This year was the best year I have ever had. I've been shown since I was 6 years old. My family bought my horse, Mr. Ballistic, from Justin Josie Lawrence when I was in Montana. We traded them some Yankee heifers for him, and it is the best trade we've ever made. I was able to secure the Northwest Region Champion title for the regional shows in 2024, Reserve World Champion in the Youth Women's Boxing, Reserve World Champion in the Youth College in the Younger Division, Reserve World Champion in the Younger Division in the Youth Boxing also. So far, I've secured a $3,000 in scholarships for college. Every time you get a big win, a show in the youth division, you receive a $250 scholarship towards your college. I missed the finals in the youth hours 18 and under by 1 point. While in Texas, Mr. Cappy has the run I can show you. My horse protected me and saved us both. If my horse had went down, and if I had fallen off, we would have gotten to 0 and caught over the arena. If my horse had turned away from the cow, it would have been a 0. Somehow we finished the run and just narrowly missed the finals. My dad and my coach, Travis, and my family really were anxious and breathing a sigh of relief when I rode up to the arena in 1 week. Starting in April, my cousin and I will be competing in the state of North Dakota in high school rodeo in reining cow horse, cutting, and team roping, and attraction. Based on points and placing at each rodeo, we can have the chance to compete at the state in each event. And if we do well there, we will be selected to represent the state of North Dakota and then at the National High School Finals Rodeo in July of this summer. Rodeos in Montana mostly take part on the western side of the state, so we chose to be part of the state of North Dakota Bicycle Rodeo. Thanks for letting me present to you all today. I enjoy representing myself, the family, school, community, and equestrian world. I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I have without school and teacher support the last several years.
Wow.
Great job, Cole.
Do you want to talk them through the video, please?
You have to speak up. We can't hear you.
Calvert, 289.5. Levi's Wales and CD Shiner. We go to draw number 92 now. It's going to be Mr. Ballistic by Metallic Cat. Out of Play Gun is Smart. Bred by James Jacobs. Shown by Cassidy Jesperson. Shown by Colt Jesperson.
I mean, she's speaking the truth, isn't she?
Horseman, that's his name. So Colt, can you talk me through like what you're doing here, like your?
So this is my 2-circle pattern. I just did my small slow. I'm doing my large fast circle now.
Are they watching you or the horse?
Both.
Okay.
Here I will switch leads and I got a large fast and then I will do a soft slow circle.
I don't know. I saw him switch leads. I think he probably got this from his mom. Totally. Oh, horse. He really does this to your dreams. I kind of love it. What-
You switch the leads
you
right
switch
there,
leads.
the center. You have to hit your center markers.
Does that mean the foot goes different?
Yeah,
Okay,
different.
right. So
Yeah.
travel and then you switch.
Here I roll down the center. For
Do it again.
To my
Do it again, horse.
Negative stuff. Spit.
Have you teach your horse to stop and stop? You run those things.
A lot of windmills.
Have I ever run this? I bet you have.
enough speed.
That actually looks really fun. That's about the only thing that looks fun.
This way it gets funny.
That does not. So when Colt was little, he used to zero his reading pattern, so like if he would have spun an extra circle or spin there reading, because he just wanted to do the cow work. And finally we said, you're paying your own entry fees if you do that, because he hated the reading part.
So on all these maneuvers, they all have markers and you have to be at certain spots to be able to hit the markers. In the cow work and in your ring.
Like that green,
One on the wall.
okay.
There. Mhm.
How do you train them? Do you have an arena?
We use, yeah, and then they do it for example, for training. That helps with it.
Yeah, I'm doing the boxing. We got 40 cow at one end of the arena.
Like how many people make it to this point where you're at?
Everybody gets a chance to do it all, but they only take, is it 50?
There's 80 this year. They take the top, like 15 from each region.
Yeah.
So
She's
you
done
were,
long horse.
you were competing
And I mean
against 80 students. other kids
Yeah.
or whoever is in your
The
division.
top 15 out of that 80 goes to finals. And that's what he was saying, that you'll see what happens, but he missed finals by 1 point.
On the fence right there. It doesn't look like he's going that fast, but he's flat smoke.
And here's where it
Whoa!
That was a good job, old man.
And he is
Were you scared at the time?
Everybody else in the call is scared.
Mom was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, who's saddle before?
So when we first got up there, if it would have went to the right, like he was saying, it would have zeroed. And so like that horse knew to go left, because I asked, well, did you know to go, and he said, no, he wasn't thinking about anything before.
Thank you, Colt. That was Mr. Ballistic.
And so with this, he still only missed finals by 1 point because his rating was so good, because he didn't have any. He had a lot of added points for his rating and not any deductions, so he was out of finals by 1 horse.
Wow.
Great job, Cole.
And how old are you?
Proud of you.
How
I
old,
never seen.
how old are you?
I'm 15.
You're 50. Wow.
Candy's gonna have to
Well,
do
thank
some
you.
photos.
Great job.
Good job, Stan. Good job.
You want to give it to me?
I didn't.
I really hope Jerry got it drunk now.
Magic markers. All right. Trustee reports. April 8th is the next regular board meeting. Is there any state and federal educational issues? Everybody get your filings in to be on school board. Stefan.
Is anybody extra besides, do we have people?
Still missing one region.
That must be yours.
Oh, I have 2 filings so far.
From the board
Mhm.
or from out,
From the board, I'm having outside.
no outside?
March 27th.
Must be you.
We're all looking at you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, I lost my spot. Okay, McKinstry Community Meeting, March 18th at 5:30 in the Tuggle Room,
25th,
not the 18th.
not the 18th. We have a move.
What was that?
So the 18th.
That's fun.
Go
I
like
want
I'm
to
not
see
gonna
just
attach the, I'm sorry.
Go to
attach
page
the
6.
There you go, we're right here.
Okay.
The 18th
Same
should be
time.
the 26th,
25th.
5th. Sorry.
25th.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, here.
Yeah, I got one.
I got one another day, but I'll take one to share with
The
somebody.
meeting dates are on the back, but there's a little
Oh, yeah.
pamphlets, and then
You must have
We're gonna-
decided against homes
Homes.
for the meeting on the.
no, we're,
Okay.
if
Does that
anybody
make
wants to invite us, we'll go there also. Yeah, you can do it online.
Did you mail these to everybody?
So we'll be mailing out postcards about the meeting dates.
Postcard.
They'll hit the mail tomorrow.
And where you're sending them to?
Every voter in the county.
We can,
Even double house like, so.
No, we won't double, we're trying, what we're trying to do today was,
a
That's
spell.
right.
we wanted to get
Family.
a postcard per,
Postage.
yeah, a postcard per house.
Is there any other trustee reports? Mr. Kempsey?
Okay, so I'll roll through a lot of different things. Staff PD, we had PDA yesterday, which we talked a lot about the sprint, the marathon of the year, getting to this point where we're sprinting, lots of things coming on the calendar. Kids from state FCCLA to state FFA, we have a lot of different events coming up over the next couple of months. We have a ski trip next week. We have Zoo Montana in the building next week as well, doing a presentation for our students in 2 different groups, and then we partnered with Dahl Memorial, and they will be doing a senior zoo safari for the people in the assisted living piece as well over there. Which is a great thing for them. It also gives us a chance to pay the full costs. So we split mileage and do those things, so it makes it a nicer state of mind. A little bit more information coming out. I have a meeting tomorrow with our local CIT meeting, the intervention group. But the state of mind is about mental health and destigmatizing the, that it's okay to go to a counselor, it's okay to ask for help, it's those kind of things. So they'll be doing a workshop with our high school kids, our 9 through 12, on the 24th, which is a Monday. They will be doing a thing after school with the teachers and community, if anybody wants to be there talking about going through some things. And then that evening, they will do like a full a show. There will be a meal, a free meal. So that will start at 6:30, and then the meal, and then the show will be after that. And then they come back on Wednesday to do Stop morning coffee, because they're going to be here in the afternoon. They're doing morning coffee in Baker to talk to anybody in the community or kind of debrief about it, how we can do things better to help our community, not just our kids, but our full community. There, as we all know, lots of people carry a lot in their saddlebags, and it's how do we help people with that and recognize that is a big deal. So that's kind of cool. That piece is a free program through the University of Montana, and we kind of got on board with that, and we grouped our time of doing that, kind of after all the sports as well, but trying to maximize for them as well, because they'll be in Baker on Tuesday doing the same thing with Baker's kiddos and whatnot.
What day did you say that was?
Said the 24th.
Okay.
I think that's right. Is that a Monday? Yes, it is Monday the 24th, and then Wednesday at like 1 o'clock will be the 26th, will be the coffee cup afterward. Job fair. So I was lucky enough to go down to Spearfish and went to Dickinson as well. Spearfish was, talked to a lot of teachers, talked to a lot of people from Spearfish, and part of that process is teachers definitely are a commodity right now, we all know. And so building some of those relationships to get us some opportunities to have student teachers, those things where we can create an opportunity to get some of those teachers in our building is important. Just because if it just comes out to when they go to, there were 70 schools at the job fair. There was Alaska, there was Arizona, I think every school in Wyoming was there. And yeah, teachers can walk around and be like, wow, show me the money, show me this, whatever. I mean, so we have to, my angle on that is the relationships we can build with some of those programs to get the kids before they get out into free agency, if you will, gives us a better chance. I did feel really good about Dickinson has a really small job fair. They only invited a couple North Dakota schools, and then I harassed them enough that me joined, and so we did mock interviews with the kids that were there, their students, and got a chance to meet them, and again, create an in with those programs. Spearfish does a good job. Dickinson is, their teachers looked very well prepared, so I had some good conversations there. Have not seen, 100 applicants come through the door yet, but I guess that wasn't my total motivation. I was hopeful that we've got to start planting those seeds early and getting them to come back. Transportation, we're going to be meeting with Branson to make the plan for our buses and the routes for the upcoming year, as well as in the future. We've had a lot of different things happening in the last 2 weeks, basically talking about different students from different spots in the county coming to school, and so what those bus routes or extra bus routes or actual bus routes might look like. We're going to be coming up looking at that. So some different opportunities with different kids coming through. You have this in front of you. You also know that the postcards are going out to make sure that we are informing the public the very, very, very best we can. I will just say personally, not one person has came in the school as an adult for any reason to talk to me or even to talk to our littles that didn't at least get to have a conversation about bond as well. Because I am not going to allow people to not be informed. But I do remind all of us that are, as board members, and myself as superintendent, as board members, we do not get to promote. We just simply get to educate. So just whatever you say personally or on your personal social media is great. But if you are representing the board or representing the school, we can't promote the bond. And so those dates are on there. And then the big piece about that, so March 25th is here. March 31st, we're going to be down at the gas station at B&J Convenience down in Aldeta during lunch. That they felt like that was the busiest time down there. Then 3:45, we're going to be at Hammond on the 31st. And then I'll see if the board's better than the staff was yesterday, but on April 1st, we will be going to Hawks Home, and that's not a joke.
So bad.
You did worse today.
With that as well, I stress to all of you, if you cross paths with somebody that wants to talk to us, we will load up and go whoever and make sure they have the information in front of them. People can get flyers at the school. We have a website set up. That website is front and center on there, which will help give people every ounce of information they want, down to the penny of what it is going to cost them individually in this county. So they can very, very informed decision.
You'll be able to log in and show them with the video and everything.
You can. And I won't say it's pretty easy, but if you have multiple, the only thing I would say to all board members as well, just be aware of, if you have multiple properties, then you have to add those together.
You have to look them up.
So if people have multiple, like one's in your name, one's in your husband's name, or different LLCs kind of things, then it will, you do have to add those taxable values up together, otherwise it won't. So, yeah, I'll let her show that video, because today's the night of videos, I like it. So
zooming in on the floor.
on there, we have the top 50
Taxpayers.
taxpayers of the county, but you can find your specific, that list right there, list that out. But then on the link, if you go to that, you can find your own ranch or your own property. And like I said, if you have multiple properties under your name, then you do have to add those up. And so it's, once you get to your actual taxable value, not your property value, your taxable value is that taxable value. That's what is important, because that will break it down for you over the next 5 years. When you put that in there, it breaks down. It says exactly what any taxpayer in the county
So that's for all 5 years? Or
That's
each
per
year?
year.
Per year.
Each year for the next 5 years.
$30.
Mine's $30.
I could-
But that's what he's saying on this property thing is make sure you type in, like any other entities, like if you have, like if your ranch is named one thing and your trucking is named one thing and your
Yep.
livestock, I mean, like make sure you type in all of your entities, and then if you have anybody that's inundated and comes up with 50 and they don't add them all together, let me know and I can do it for them. There's a chance if anybody has that problem, they're probably one of these. Unless they have a lot of different entities, but this will show the top 50. The nice thing about this is that we know nobody that's not on this list will pay more than $167 per year. Everybody else is below this mark. So. And there's other fun stuff on here.
So the last piece about the bond, just a reminder that the bond goes out on, the mailings go out on, the bond gets mailed, the ballots get mailed on the 17th. They have to be back to school by May 6th. So that's,
The 17th of March?
17th of April.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah. So we, a little more than a month to make sure we talk to every person in the county and please make sure that if somebody has questions, if they're not willing to come to us, get us their information and we'll tell them. Just to make sure they know what they're voting for against, they have them.
I didn't show that, did I show the website? This is what it looks like, so you guys don't have it, it just says right on the header.
I know. I get to find prom, not find prom, what day it is. I said, oh, no problem. I'll find
it's
it
not
12.
on there.
It's not on there.
April 12th, put it on.
But I thought everywhere I went, bomb, bomb, bomb.
So you're educated.
Should be on this one.
It's not.
Carol, or do you have anything else, Mr. Carroll?
Nope.
Carol, do you want to do guidance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we just wrapped up our breakfast with besties and our bark awards. This last Monday, it went really smoothly. I thought it went really well. We had math night on February 13th. We had dinner, dessert, and games, and it went really well. With lots of kiddos in here. We just finished up our second mass window. I will be sending out all the results with parents. I guess parents that did receive those results, did you feel as if they were user-friendly to read?
When did we receive them?
In the last report card.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that they were better than the maps.
Okay, I just want to make sure that as I send those out, we need to be distributing them, but I want to make sure they're user-friendly as well.
It explained with levels 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And where they were. I don't know if it said a lot about what they were to do with it.
It was just showing the results.
Yep.
Okay. I will be sending out window 2s with this next set of report cards. We have job fair on these. I don't think you did that. Did you actually? I could get it on my site. I did. But April 9th, not April 2nd. So I've got quite a few people that have said yes, and not very many people that have said no, and my list is long. So, 7. Job fair. I'm gonna do it college fair style, so just each person gets a booth, and then we'll set up, and I'm gonna make a scavenger hunt out of it with the littles and the bigs, and I'm excited. I'm trying to get as many people jobs that we don't think of as much. So. Anything else? Questions? Okay.
Thanks, Carol. Whoever wants to do the athletic director.
I have one.
The district 4C tournaments were held in Miles City a couple weekends ago. Both teams did very well, and the girls advanced on to divisionals by winning the championship game at the 4C tournament, so that was pretty exciting. And then this weekend, they came away third place, so at our division tournament. So we're very, very proud of them. They worked really hard this year. State track and field season is underway now that this meeting has been built. We wrote this before that. They started on Monday and junior high practice will begin on Wednesday the 19th. A tentative schedule is attached for your reference. Please note that due to potential weather conditions, the schedule is subject to change. And updates will continue to be sent out through Remind and Facebook throughout the entire season. And financially, the athletic department is in a stable position largely due to the successful fundraising efforts conducted during the basketball season. And we're hoping to continue that into the fall for next year. Any questions?
How many kids are out for track?
Oh my God. There's a lot. I haven't, 22, how many?
Wow.
11 each. Wow. The most we've had out since you've been here. So.
Wow, good.
Yeah. That will help the rest of our programs be successful too.
Thank you. Maintenance. Did we all read? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Do we need to read it out loud? Okay. It sounds like it's been cold outside and burning lots of propane and moving snow and some generator things. Stocked up on lights. Transportation?
We made it through, like the hardest part of the year, all the trips. Branson's in Miles City at the tech conference, for tech directors and that, so, the buses are doing well on that, and then jumping down to technology. He's been working on, figuring out how to fix some of our equipment, and then we got some equipment from, as we talked about last time, from Helena. And so some of that stuff is like brand new, but some of it has just minor things, and so being able to fix some of those things. But the highlight was the freezer started to fail last week, and the sensor worked and let us know the freezer was failing. And so we, Arnold was quickly to be able, we had a plan in place to move a lot of frozen stuff, a lot of places, but it all worked out. And so, but the big piece was the sensor working and those things. So it was just a wire. So where custodians go? I think the custodians are very happy that the sports season inside is over. So it creates a little less traffic in there. It's a good and bad thing for them. But things are rolling along. And, they're preparing today. Doesn't sit on them, but they're preparing for summer and all the different events during the summer, mapping out the schedule when the gyms will be open and whatnot.
Brittany?
So all the appeals have been filed with the IRS. I've not heard anything back from them yet, so this is kind of a wait. I did get at least my confirmation that the certified mail was delivered, so we'll see what that brings. And then so far $1,900 what we've been billed for on fees that was getting all the appeals processed or filed. I'll be gone Thursday with district meeting in Miles City, and then preliminary budget data sheets have been released. Most likely it's gonna change because of having legislation, it's like the STARS Act and the inflationary stuff and all that hasn't hit yet, but they're required to produce them by March 1st, which they have, so those are in here later to look at.
Okay, daycare?
Daycare is very busy. We had some changeover in staff and that impacted the school a little bit, so we have been moving some people around to do that, as well as create better opportunities for some of our staff. And so we'll be looking to hire a part-time, and it also helped us look at daycare staff and as well as cafeteria staff, and try to make sure we're hiring for what we needed and the amount of time that we needed. So made it, sometimes when you get put in that crisis situation, you figure out what you're capable of doing and what is needed versus, this is kind of good. So that'll allow us we're gonna put that out to hire a part-time person through the end of the year. And then reevaluate where we're at.
With a daycare?
For the cafeterias, because we moved our cafeteria person into daycare. So, I did forget, I will throw this back in there on mine, so kind of go a little bit hand in hand with daycare. We do have some major grants that lots of different people have been, Brittany and I have been working on, but Mrs. Dwyer, Mrs. Fry, Mrs. Spencer, we had her and Mrs. Peters. Potentially a significant amount, I have no idea if we'll get it, but we were pre-approved to apply for it, so that at least puts us in a group of possibilities, if you will. And so that not everybody in the state can apply. We will apply for that by the end of the week. When you went to college and you were wondering why would you ever write like a 30-page paper, that's why. So that'll go in on Friday. We'll know the first of May, the beginning of May, if we got that. Or I'll probably let you know immediately if we find out we got it. It would be significant as far as for curriculum as well as professional development. A lot of different pieces, but a pretty time-consuming piece. We have a couple other grants in the works that we've got in, as well as the SAP during the PD Day. We achieved a grant from Continental, and they had to apply for it. They applied for it per classroom, and so during the professional development time, we gave them all time to work on that during that time, so they didn't have to do it after hours. So we'll wait and see. We were asked to apply for it, so we'll see if we get one classroom or two classrooms or 10 classrooms. But no, it'll be good.
This time, is there any comment on public matters that are not on the agenda? Any public comment? Public comment? Move on to old business. Is there any old business? Is there any old business?
Oh, yeah, I have something. And maybe we can discuss it further on too, but should the policy committee be reviewing like the handbooks before each meeting? I think we talked about that last fall, that we were gonna have like a workshop or the board before each meeting, since we're doing the handbooks a little bit differently by month for the next few months.
Kind of. Not sure. So we do have handbooks on front of you this
Yes.
month, and then
Yep.
we have next month, we have another, and then
Right.
next month, so we have them spread out.
Yep.
So that, yes, I think.
I think we had talked about having the committee kind of go over them ahead of time to save time during meetings.
Yes, that is what we discussed last fall.
We can gladly do that.
I mean, I think we're okay to
I mean, we tried to
obviously
put
go
them in
ahead
the-
with what we have tonight.
We tried to put them in packages of, so that it's really focused on the changes.
Yes.
So that,
Yep.
in a sense, most of them have already been approved, so the changes are looking.
I think it's Stephanie and I have to look at the paper and figure out.
It's on the desk.
I'll pull it up if you give me just a second.
She'll just have it in the wall.
I think it's Stefan and I.
Policy is just Lisa and or Sam and Stefan.
I see you shaking your head like, yep, this is a good idea.
It is a great idea.
And now.
It's a great idea. I actually didn't know that I was.
So I guess you guys let me know if you want it to go before, if you want it to be a policy committee, just like post it that way, we can set a time, or if you guys want it to be a work session.
Like a work session or, sure.
Committee sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great.
He's stuck either way.
You know, I love policy, so I might go for it.
Sam thrives on it.
I do.
So you really
Love
just,
policy. Yeah. I think a half hour is enough time to understand before the meeting.
Okay, so just a heads up, next month you have the student and the activity, and those are like both 20 That'd be my only, I'm not saying you're not a good reader, I'm just saying like if there's lots of changes to be discussed, that might be challenging.
I think both of them are very concise people, if they have them ahead of time
You
to
can come
look
with them
through
ahead of time.
before you come.
So I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and post, we're gonna do a policy committee at 5:30 for the next meeting for handbooks.
And it'll
Just the two that we're gonna,
Yes.
okay, so that's, can we pick a different day, because if we do the two that are gonna go into the board packet, I'll need the changes ahead of time.
Yeah. I know, that's why I asked about it 2 months ago, so that we could have a meeting last month in preparation for this one, so we could stay ahead of it. But
I said that's fine.
Okay. So, how many more do we have to go through? We have this one,
You have
then
student
the
activity
next
in
two.
April, and then you have transportation in May, and then you have daycare in July.
Okay. I know.
Could probably do all
Well,
that
the
one
daycare
time.
one should be the daycare committee,
Correct.
as we should
Yeah.
be doing that one.
So you guys have to do that.
I just wanna
Do you-
think about it.
Do you guys wanna
Yeah.
figure it out amongst
Yeah,
yourselves?
I was gonna
or
think
decide
about
on a
it.
day?
It might be a better plan for future years. But, cause we're gonna do one and not all of them at this point.
I mean, I will say
Oh, is
your classified and your certified typically have fewest amount of changes. Yeah, it's like your student activities where we spent a lot of time since I've been here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Stefan
Okay.
and I will visit. Does that sound good?
Okay. That
Will
sounds
you know,
good.
Lisa?
Yep.
Thank you.
Certified, certified 10-year consideration.
So on that list, you have all the first pages, you have all the 10-year contracts up for renewal, with that recommendation, and on the second page, we also have all of the non-10-year ones up for, right, I mean, you all know that, all.
Is there, I think we should do them separately, probably. Is there any board discussion on the certified 10-year teachers?
I just want to, you have this payment scale on here, but with the STARS Act still in play, like, it's not worded like it is in the, from the collective bargaining, so I just wanted to make sure that that was understood.
So the plan is to put out the statement with it, just like we did a collective bargaining to say, if the STARS Act is not approved, then the contracts will go back before negotiations.
So we're literally not voting anything to do with the dollar amounts, it's just renew their contracts.
Yes,
But
the
they have
dollar,
to
yes, the
I
dollar
just,
amounts are
I
tied
was
to
just
the,
wanting
to the CBA.
to make sure that everybody understood that. So there wasn't-
Did the union sign an agreement with what
We have
we
not
did?
signed it yet. We have a meeting scheduled, but
Okay,
Monday,
thanks.
and that's okay, doesn't matter what order it's approved in, as long as it's approved by both parties within the stipulations.
Okay.
I think it's 30 days.
And we can do all of them in one motion because they're tenured.
Yes.
Correct. Or however you would like to do them. Any other board discussion? Any public comment? Public comment? Board discussion or motion?
I'll move that the board trustees renew the employment contract as presented for all the teachers that presented.
I'll second that.
I forgot you were there.
I know, I was like-
I did.
Stefan has moved to approve the 10-year teachers as presented and offer contracts for the 25-26 school year. Dave has seconded the motion. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Board discussion? Stefan has moved to approve the tenured teachers as presented and offer contracts for the 25-26 school year. Dave seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Personal, non-tenured teacher consideration. Is there any board discussion?
This will be Mrs. Peters' third contract, which will be 10-year after the contract we approved.
Correct. Any public comment? Public comment? Board discussion or motion?
I'll move to renew the following teachers as presented.
I'll second that.
Mike made a motion to renew the non-tenure teachers' contracts. Rena seconded it. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Board discussion?
Why does it say it should be considered on a teacher by teacher?
So that way if you don't put them all together.
Was there something you wanted to tell us?
No,
From your
that's just
evaluations or
recommended,
something?
that's recommended to us by MTSBA.
Just language.
I thought you did some evaluations and you didn't want anybody back.
Well, I don't know. I mean, unless you're doing, unless there's something, a sticky spot with the teacher.
His recommendation was to renew. Or not.
Those sticky spots.
Mike moved to renew the following teachers for the 25-26 contract. Rena seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Classified hiring, certified hiring. I just read whatever I want.
So we have interviewed for our elementary, and we've interviewed for our elementary and our junior high math position. We're still working on our music position, looking at pieces of that puzzle, but at this moment, I would recommend that we hire the 3 candidates. We had 3 candidates apply for the elementary jobs. We interviewed all 3 of them. And I would recommend to hire all 3 of those. Those 3 would be Whitney Fiddleman, Kendall Fiddleman, and Jana Fix.
You have to rehire Whitney because she's not working today.
Hmm?
I'm not rehiring Whitney.
Yeah.
Who is the middle one?
Kendall Coleman.
Okay.
2 of them, well, upon hire, all 3 of them would be on authorized, emergency authorized. Different points. Mrs. Fix will be renewing her license, getting it back up because she is a certified teacher. Whitney is still working through getting her degree, and Kendall will continue online working on her degree.
And that would be for a grade school class?
Hmm?
Would Kendall be for a grade school class?
Not decided yet.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, looking at those pieces, we have been kind of moving pieces around and waiting to see if we can get a music teacher. I feel like by the time we get to April's meeting, we'll have a kind of clear idea of where we're headed in those positions.
In a minute. Yep, just a second. Okay, is there any board discussion? Public comment?
Could you answer?
You have to go to the.
Oh, do
You got a copy. No.
You, can you just wait till you get home? How, can you tell me what year Kendall graduates and where is she at in her college degree? Is she seeking a college degree? In what capacity or what classroom are you thinking of? And I don't, maybe you can answer.
I'm actually thinking through this in my head right now. I'm not sure I can answer all these details.
Can you answer where she's at in her degree, or if she's going to be seeking a teaching?
All of our candidates are in a program seeking their degree.
Okay.
So I can say that. Not, I mean, and as far as class placements, my number one concern is to try to put teachers where they are going to maximize the potential of kids. And so where I can support them and make sure their impact on kids is the greatest. And so that's been a conversation since we started this process with the interviews looking at, okay, well, this person here, what's it look like? Okay, what's good about it, what's bad about it? So still kind of just sleeping on it, if you will. Trying to really kind of make sure we're doing what's best for kids and putting the teachers in the best spot where they can be successful.
Okay, and so as of right now, are you thinking if they'll be in the grade school capacity solely, or like 8th grade and under, or are you, is that to be determined?
So the positions they're voting on are elementary positions.
Right.
So they would have to be K.
Right, I just didn't know if you're thinking like 5th through 8th or 5th under, or if you know even where in the grade school you're thinking of putting them.
Well, good news is I know they're gonna be in the grade school.
Yeah.
I don't actually, I mean, we have ideas, we've had conversations, but just trying to figure out where those pieces fit the best.
Okay. Did you get any other applicants? Because we had not been here, so I didn't keep up. When we were on, but did you get any other applicants for these, or this is it?
There were other applicants.
There wasn't. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Public comment? Board discussion?
Did any of the trustees help with these interviews? So I thought that was on our interview process.
They're invited. I was supposed to be here, but I get tied up.
Okay. Can we have a backup next time if that happens? Then somebody else could fill that spot. So I think that's very important.
I had an invitation, but it was canceled. So that's why I thought the interviews were canceled.
Okay.
And then I found out that night they weren't canceled.
I think that's really important to us trustees, at least for myself.
So who was the interview besides you and?
For the elementary committee, it was myself, Mrs. Guire, Mrs. Fry, and Carol.
Any other board discussion? Motion?
I'll move to accept the recommendation and hire Whitney Kittleman, Kendall Kittleman, and Jenna Fix as teachers for the 25-26 school year.
I second it.
Phoebe beat you to it.
Thanks.
Mike has made the motion to hire Whitney Kittleman, Kendall Kittleman, and Jana Fix for the 25-26 school year in the elementary. Phoebe seconded it. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Any other board discussion?
Will we still need teachers, or is this it?
No, we still,
Elementary teachers, except for the music.
we still have math teacher. I think I'm pretty confident I'll bring a recommendation for the next meeting for our math.
For math and music. But we have enough for elementary now?
We also have a business job we're looking at how that will be a full-time position. Then there's an art position that's never, like, man, if they find an art business, music teacher would be like amazing.
Any other board discussion? Mike has made the motion to hire Whitney Kittleman, Kendall Kittleman, Jana Fix for the 25-26 school year in the elementary. Phoebe seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Extracurricular hire. Carol or Amy?
Oh, sorry. We would like to recommend Shoko Himmel for assistant track coach. I second that.
Is this for high school or,
High school.
no, not junior high?
We don't have junior high assistants,
Yeah, okay.
so just high school, yes. We feel very confident that Mick O'Connor, who's our head coach at the moment, and Shoko will make the best team fit. That's our recommendation.
Is there any board discussion?
Who's the junior high coach?
Junior high, Jenna Bruce. We hired her back in March with the others, April. I'm saying last year.
She's been a coach 2 years now.
Yeah.
This will be her third year as junior high track coach.
Yeah.
Jenna.
But I mean, we brought those recommendations.
I was just letting you
Oh,
refresh my memory.
Last fall.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's right.
Board discussion? Public comment?
She's an all-American.
Are you ready for a motion?
You'd be foolish to not hire her.
Public comment? Is there any other board discussion or motion?
I'll move to hire Ms. Hamill, the assistant coach for track.
I second that.
Stefan made the motion to hire Chiyoko Hamel as the assistant track coach for 24-25. Rena has seconded it. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Board discussion?
Thank you.
Stefan made a motion to hire Chiyoko Hamel as the assistant track coach for 24-25 school year. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Classified hiring.
Nice.
So based on the collective bargaining being approved, and it's kind of ripple across, as well as the STARS Act, we would ask that this be tabled until we actually know that, so we know what we're actually looking at for sure. For the classified.
Is there any board discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Board discussion motion?
I move to table classified hiring and classified salary matrix to April meeting.
I second it.
Sam made the motion to move the table, or move to table the classified hiring and classified salary matrix to April. Phoebe seconded the motion. Is there any public comment? Any board comment? Sam made the, or move to table the classified hiring and classified salary matrix to April. Phoebe seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Collective bargaining agreement.
On February 27th, the teachers and the committee from the board, myself and Brittany, met to go over go through the IBB process. And another testament to everybody in the room that even though it was kind of a long day, that in one day that the new contract was hammered out and worked through. And so some good conversations in that. The contract is in front of you now, and as a reminder of that, we opened negotiations early because that the STARS Act will have a May 15th deadline that you have to allow to be, that you're gonna make it, that you're gonna meet the requirements of the STARS Act. So we wanted to be out in front of that, just in case whenever they did sign it. And so we did that. A couple of big, lots of pieces on there, and as we look through that, the big changes were the teacher's salary. The matrix is going to go in year one, will go up to 33.5. In year two, it'll go up to 34. So the tricky part about that, just make sure everybody's on the same page. So that is what the matrix will be at, so that those dollar amounts roll with all the steps and things move as well. That anybody that is below 41.6 will automatically default up to that as part of the STARS Act. So that way we have a salary schedule in place, and we can kind of let that continue to work for our teachers, work for our school. We talked about insurance and left. Insurance is essentially the same, meaning that we pay for basically a single plan for every employee. Outside of that, then there is a cost, but we raised it a little bit, $100 and some to cover what that would be to be a basic high deductible plan, with the knowledge that there's a chance, but we'll reopen that part of it next year, or actually maybe the end of this year, to look at the state trust insurance plan and work through that. But that stayed kind of the same in that. The next change would be that we went from sick days, personal days, to discretionary days, and basically coming at that still from the same point of starting every conversation from a point of trust instead of, what is your day for? With that, the teachers went from 15 days a year available to them with a combination of sick and personal to 12 days a year, which was a good piece on their side, a really good commitment on their side. It does allow for 2 days to be carried over, and so they can potentially start the year with 14. We increased their level of how many total days are in the sick bank, so that they have to exhaust their sick bank before getting there. But they can also, to kind of work through where teachers have days and different things, they can also have a personal, they can have 70 days on their own that they save over from year to year. After 70, they're gone. We added a piece of after 15 years, kind of a big focus on that longevity, that they get a 60% payout instead of just after 10 years. So another step in that. Oh, and back to the matrix, we did add another step. So we gotta make sure we're all talking the same page, because sometimes when the teachers and I were talking about it in kind of different ways, but it's the same. So if you go down that matrix, I always think about it, you're going up it, but if you go down it, we added steps for the BA plus 30. So there is a year 13. And then there is a BA 13 from BA 45 over. There's a year 13, and then next year there'll be a year 14. If you want teachers to remain in the district past 12 years, you've got to figure out a way to work in those steps. Otherwise, there really is no reason for them not to drive up the road to Baker, other than the highway sucks. So we added that in there. We adjusted the workday from 7:45 to 3:45. We added a contingent point. Well, back up to the matrix, it was 10, 20, 30 masters. So we went to, because it basically is 60 credits. If you're going to get a master's degree, it's going to take you 60 credits, roughly. So we shifted those columns. Everybody here currently will be grandfathered where they're at, but we went to 15, 30, 45. So you're logically moving towards either that 60 or towards your master's. Master's, it tops out. So there's not plus 75 or those kind of things. So there's a plus 67. We worked out a piece for graduate credits that if the school is asking, obviously we've been talking about positions. So if I went to a teacher and said, there is absolutely no way we're ever going to find a fill in the blank teacher, a music teacher, for example, if you work towards your endorsement, would you be willing to work towards that endorsement? We will cover half of the cost up to $150. So we'll pay $150 because we got a rough estimate that about $300 per credit. After the class is completed and they finished it and passed it, and we'll reimburse that cost. At the point they receive their endorsement, they have a 3-year commitment to the district. Otherwise, they have to reimburse the cost of those credits. So with the intent of, obviously, if they're getting it with one of the, it could be a music teacher, it could be a special ed teacher, it could be, you don't want to work on that, getting that, and then watch them walk down the road. We adjusted one other piece about that. We did adjust the calendar. The calendar committee met today, and we're still hammering out the calendar. But the 2 PD days at the beginning of the year for staff will not happen. There'll be 1 PD day. They will, if they have completed, if they've logged their 8 hours at the school. One of the big pieces is teachers need time in their classrooms to get ready. And so if they, by the first day, if they have completed, got their room set up and turn that in, then they will get a $150 stipend for getting their room set up and doing all that, because in theory it's on their own time. We'll have 1 day at the beginning of the year instead of 2 days with staff. And then, as I said, still hammering out pieces of the calendar as far as for kids, but there'll be no early release days in the calendar. There'll be no early release every month days. Parent-teacher conferences will be twice a year, and they will be from 2 to 6. And so that'll be the only time that our bus schedules are adjusted. Professional development will take place on Fridays. It'll be half days. It'll be sort of a quick hitter. It'll be 8 to 12, 1 Friday every month throughout the year with that piece, and then 1 at the end of the year as well. A little bit of verbiage still being decided there by the legislature as far as the days in October that won't directly, that'll be more about the PD committee and the calendar committee than it is about the collective bargaining. We removed professional development coordinator from the extracurriculars. We removed the food person out of the extracurriculars as well.
And I have this because I forgot to put it in there. Sorry.
Oh, I wonder what that was in my notes, actually. I'm like, where did this go?
Anything today that did get put in that schedule.
We added 2 positions into the into the extracurricular stipend. One of those is at $900 a year for a mentor to mentor our teachers. Any new staff, meaning new coming into our district. They can't be assigned more than 2. So potentially, if we look at next year, we would need to. I mean, at just currently, there's some positions that we're going to hire. Then we also put in a piece for a lead teacher, and our focus on that lead teacher position is they'll apply for that, and it'll be a $200 a month. The lead teacher will be a $200 a month position for those moments that I'm out of the building or whatever. There'll be one in the high school, one in the elementary. They will kind of be like, I don't know, a little team for me to work with and help with what's going on in those buildings. But if the district does not have an administrator on contract, then they will automatically roll into that position as far as the kind of helping get through those moments. At the moment, if that ever happens, then they will be, their salary shifts to $1,000 a month. Our intent was very clear. We don't want to be in a situation that we were in probably multiple times, but just a few years back where teachers were thrown into it and didn't know. This way, they're probably well aware, and if something, Kathy would help be incapacitated for a while, they could step in without like everybody going like, oh, what's going to happen? Parents as well would be knowing that as well. And I believe, we have lots of the team up here, and then Ms. Howell and Ms. Squire were both in that. I think that is everything that we touched on.
I will take fault for this. I forgot to add the MOU, so you guys won't be able to vote on that tonight. I'll have a separate professional development MOU. That was done separately, so they can revisit it.
Do the 2 of you have anything down?
Well, the only thing I was questioning was, I thought it was a $300 lead teacher. Do you think it's $200?
I had it in the solution as 200 from Tracy's notes.
We
But
were
I
just
don't-
talking about it amongst ourselves.
I thought it was 200, but
Okay.
I didn't take notes myself. So.
Maybe it's just kind of like. Yeah.
I thought it went pretty well, got a little long,
I was like,
but yeah. I had told Mr. Capty, just a personal suggestion would maybe be for next time we do it is to take a actual lunch or, a 1 hour, everybody goes their separate ways, refreshes and comes back if we're gonna do everything in a day like that. I think that would
I do have to say though, after years and years and years of being on negotiations, I highly prefer this method. I mean,
Oh,
the years
yes.
where we sat in opposite rooms and sent a person back and forth, And I know that it can get contentious or hurt feelings or, you know, all the different things, a lot of high emotions. But I love the ability to have the school district to say what they would like from us and us to say why we, you know, what we'd like from you. You know, so it's very effective, so.
To
thank you
just have
for
a
being a part
conversation.
of that, yeah, exactly.
It's really good.
It's a great communication opportunity.
It's wonderful to hear.
Any other board discussion, questions? Stefan enjoyed every minute of it. So
Well,
Mike,
thank you
for
to
letting
those
us
of you
know.
that were able to
You know, I
make it
could have,
and
because the
work
guy
through
showed
all
up at
that.
like 12:05. What do you guys is that punch? He was there for 10 minutes. So,
Don't tell Stefan that.
Yeah, I heard.
Public comment? Public comment? For discussion or motion?
She said we couldn't.
You can do the CBA, the
Just-
MOU is complete separate documents, so I'll do the MOU.
So you'd say move to approve the CBA
Okay.
and table the MOU?
You know, I know if it's tabled, it's
Oh.
not a part of your packet,
Oh,
but you'll just
true.
make sure you add this as part of the CBA.
CBA
With the included stipends.
included. Okay.
I'll make sure it gets language changed.
I move to approve the new CBA and that other stuff.
And include the stipends.
Include them or not include?
Include the stipends.
I'll second.
That page that
Right.
was.
I'll second.
Which is this extra.
Yes, I did.
Maybe move to approve the new CBA for 2025 through 2027. And include the stipends presented. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Board discussion? Maybe move to approve the CBA for the 2025-2027 years with the included stipends. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. School election.
Okay, so the annual school election, so I put on here just so you guys have an idea of what the current levies are. So we already have an elementary technology levy that was passed last year, so we have it for 2 more years. There is no elementary building reserve levy, but there is an elementary safety levy and a high school safety levy. And then behind this are those preliminary budget issues I told you guys about, so this is where typically you would get to see if you had room in your general funds to run a voted levy. And so if you look at the second page of each of them, so if you go to page 61 of your packets, it's gonna be number 9, line F, your highest voted amount. That amount is what you could take to your taxpayers if you wanted to run a general fund levy. So on page 61, it's the $271 for the elementary. And then if you go to page 64, it's the $9,020.11 for the high school. Again, this is really hard for all of us right now because legislation isn't finished yet, and so there's a lot of factors that could play into our elections, posting them and canceling them, et cetera. But Mr. Katzman felt that there was no need to holding levies at this point, and just creates a lot of confusion when there's multiple pieces of paper going out for the same election on the same timeline. And so, an absolute worst case scenario, I didn't tell you this, but I did find out in one of our clerk sessions, this was yesterday, that they are allowing general fund elections through July. So if you got into a situation or legislation didn't pass and decided to go back and run that general fund, like if you were in a dire spot, you could, some of the big schools actually run $1 million general fund levies. But at this point, I don't feel like we need to run any levies, any additional ones, and so we'll just watch our timelines for the remaining ones and come back next year and revisit them. And you guys can see on those same pages where it shows the high school, and it also shows you, your budget for next year and your budget, what it was this year. And so, this year's elementary general fund was $898, and next year it looks like we're gonna have $903, so up just a little bit. This is assuming again that STARS Act and all that doesn't pass. And then the high school sits at exactly the same, unless we don't do the vote, which if we don't, it'll be a little bit less, so $9,000 less.
Is there any board discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Board discussion or motion? Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yep. If you agree with the
Yeah, no motion
recommendation,
needed.
there's no motion needed. Any other board discussion? We'll go to permissive levies.
Okay, so the resolution for estimated and non-voted levies, every March you have to put out a resolution for your non-voted levies. These are permissive levies that we will set in August. We have to put out to say that there is a chance that we will increase or decrease those levies. If you do not, there is no opportunity for you to increase them in August. So if you forgot to do this and post it and do all the things, you cannot increase those levies. And so this is just something that's gonna go out to the taxpayer, that will get posted in the paper to say, here's our best guess as of right now of what, an idea of what we have, would budget for next year and how it would affect your taxes. So this does have to be approved.
Board discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Motion?
I'll move to adopt the notice estimating non-voted levies as presented.
I'll second that.
Stefan made the motion to approve the notice estimating non-voter levies as presented. Sam seconded it. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Board comment? Stefan moved to approve the notice estimating non-voted levies as presented. Sam seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Student attendance agreement.
So we had a foster play student come in while I was on maternity leave, and it just caught my attention that we do have to do, you're pretty much acknowledging it at this point because it goes against the law to deny them, but it still has to go before you for acknowledgement of their placement, so. At least I stuck it in the front of the bills for you to sign. after being
Okay.
approved.
So the motion would still be to approve.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be worded. Okay. Thank you.
Unless you want to break the law. Is there any board discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Is there a motion?
I move to approve the student attendance contracts as presented for the 24-25 academic school year.
I second that. Sam made a motion to approve the student attendance contract for the 24-25 school year. Is there any public comment? Board comment? Board discussion? Sam made the motion to approve the student attendance contract for the 24-25 school year. Rena seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And books. Classified.
All right, we'll roll through this pretty quickly. Cleaned up some language on there. So moving through there, page 7, piece about cell phone, changing that to, statement on there as well, just deleting piece, but making sure that if people are using their cell phone for personal reasons. Clean that up. It's not about using, we have lots of staff members that use phones to take pictures of things that are going on in classes or things that they should be, and that's not the intent. And so just making sure that it's not using personal cell phones for personal things while they're working. And if they are classified staff, if they're on the clock, then they need to be off the clock if they're doing those things. Moving to the next page, staff children are on the discretion of the superintendent, cleaning that language up about that because there was some confusion about whether staff kids could be here, not be here, whatever. And so that seems like one of those things that, again, should be a little bit of discretion on there. It should not be locked down. We are a school, and if we want to employ people that have kids, we need to be able to work with them. And so as we have with our professional development this year, we made adjustments for students, for parents and their kids, so that we could have them here and not necessarily provide babysitting or those different things. It's one of those things that every situation is not the same. So, group health insurance, we changed on that next page, changed that, whether the SARS Act or not goes in, that changes the same piece of that as far as for what we did with the collective bargaining. New employees will receive a prorated employer contribution for health insurance, so if we start middle of the year, that's a piece. Moving over to the district hours, again, just shifting that from 8 to 7:45. That's when they'll be expected to be here. Travel procedures, just simple cleaning up of a financial report. We actually could not figure out what a financial report was totally. So we were like, what do we want? I mean, we know if somebody's gone and we turn in receipts. I mean, it's pretty simple. You have to turn in receipts. You have to pay for yourself. And so just cleaning up that language on page 13. Itemized receipts. On the next page, just for a timeline on that for 5 days to get that. That is classified. You can do them both together. I can keep rolling, or we can do one at a time. Up to the board's pleasure.
Do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to vote on it?
Keep rolling.
I didn't just keep going in the open discussion.
Page 6 of the certified lead forms are available online through Flow Forms. Brent's spent a lot of time building that, and teachers are absolutely good about it. They've been on tap with using that, but just changing that because the forms are no longer in the office. Deductions from discretionary days, changing that, getting rid of personal. Again, stating that in the cell phones, that cell phones are for using cell phones for personal use during the school day. When you need to use it during non-instructional time, just stating that. In service, on that bottom of page 7, striking out of that piece just because of the way the PRA days are set up. Changing that over to that language, just the language on the next page. The attendance is mandatory. Teacher in-service days offers October PR days throughout the state are mandatory unless the alternate plan has been filled by you and approved by the administration. If you should decide to substitute workshop or class for October in-service, you should contact the ETA president before June 30th. Classes taken during summer will be documented and turned into the administration on the first PR day of the school and will take place in August before school starts. Other PR days are noted on the adopted school calendar. PR day absences will be in full day increments. Reporting time for staff, next piece down there is 7:45 to 3:45. Grading system, page 10, kindergarten and first grade will use the 1 to 4 rubric for standards-based grading. Grades 10 through grades 2 will use S, and S plus. The rest of the grade 3 through 12 stays the same. Lesson plans, we've got all that. Lunch duty, simplifying that process a little bit. That lunch duty schedules will be determined at the beginning of the year. During that time, it is the responsibility of the teacher to supervise, maintain order. If for any reason you cannot supervise on that day, on the day you are assigned, it is your responsibility to find a replacement. Just cleaned up that language, simplified that part. We didn't really change the inclement weather in either of them, just kind of try to make sure we clarified that. There was a discussion in the collective bargaining about roads and weather and different things, but we just essentially made sure we wanted to clarify that. Again, school facility use, office hours of the building will be, change that, 7:5. Student records, on page 17, making addition to student permanent files will be given to the district secretary, and it will, the records for the K-12 are housed in a main office vault, and so that has been in the vault behind Ricky's office, and so that's everything housed there. What?
It's a Janet vault.
Oh, and the one behind the.
So it used to be Carol's vault, but that's why it got changed. It didn't go in there.
Mileage, lodging, registration. That's it.
Is there any board discussion?
I have a question, and that's just for Ms. Squire. What is the 1 through 4 rubric scale? Like, how is that work?
So it's based on standards, it's standards-based assessment. And so, 1, it means they're not progressing toward learning that specific standard. 2 means you are progressing toward learning it. 3 means that you have mastered that standard. And 4 means that you have exceeded that standard.
Okay.
So
I was just
it's through
curious
the whole
because it
year,
was-
so parents freak out come fall, they get their first report card and it's all 2s and 1s and they're like, what? My kid's got F's and D's. And it does not, they are not synonymous at all. You cannot compare an alphabetized report card to this. So they just is discussing how they are progressing toward the goal of achieving this end of first grade, end of kindergarten goal.
I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, no, we sent a big letter about it. And I didn't use it when I taught the combination when I had your son. We didn't use it. Because I said, I can't do both, don't make me do both.
As a parent, it's nice to see actually, because it's like, when they're in kindergarten, it's like, the student can write their first name, 1 through 4. The student can write their last name, 1 through 4. And then we're like, Mom, you can't write your last name. And she's like, we're like, spell it. She's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, they're actually tangible things for parents where they see like what the actual goal is at the moment.
I can add and subtract within 20, this many facts in this amount of time.
Kind of gives you an idea where to, it just really explains it, like breaks it down, what they are understanding and not. It's pretty cool.
Like, is it wrong? Being like, what part of that?
Yep. Yeah. It's good.
I just have some questions about the cell phone. So how will you be monitoring that to ensure staff are not using their cell phones for personal use? And that it's only for work?
I was gonna make a joke, but I didn't want to make it up. Cameras in every room watching. That's a trusting piece, but it's a good thing to have as a reminder. It's kind of like a speed
Sure.
limit in the sense of, like I said, we have lots of staff that send me pictures and send me videos of things that are going on in classes as they're documenting that stuff. But it's also, I mean, it's one of those things where if they know it, then you can have that conversation just as a reminder.
Sure.
I would, kids are different than teachers, but I would be shocked to really walk in a room and have a teacher like sitting there in the middle of class lecturing or talking, or even having them talk and sitting at their desk talking on the phone. I have not seen that directly. So that comes from being out, observation, popping in and out of the rooms. And if I saw it, then that first conversation is a coaching conversation saying, okay, remember, then I'll pick on my first grade teacher. Then that kid's gonna think that that's okay in third grade when they get a cell phone, and those kind of things. Or it's a high school teacher. There's no perfect way to monitor that. It's just a good reminder. It is pretty simple in the sense of asking teachers that, because don't ever get mad at a kid for pulling out a cell phone if you're using it.
I do have to say, as an elementary teacher, and I know this isn't as much, but especially as a primary teacher, I am contacted probably 5 times a day by different parents saying, wait, your sister's gonna pick him up. No, wait, have him walk to this place. No, wait. So just planning arrangements or, oh, would you send home stuff for this, and so I get contacted quite a bit. And even if they're encouraged to use Class Dojo or email or whatever, most everybody Facebook messages me, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm friends with most of them.
Yeah, that's a note I have down. So not just pointing out like, oh, what if staff aren't following it, but thinking about it from a different perspective is boundaries. It's really important for parents to have boundaries with staff and know that, especially after hours, they shouldn't be messaging teachers or other staff. In that, I think there should be something in place where maybe, if they have a Chromebook, apps they're using to communicate with parents, if they opt to take that Chromebook home as a staff member and visit with parents after hours, that's on them, but it's not required, and it's not expected that their phone number is given out and now they can message at all hours. So I wrote that down. Let's see, there should be a means of how parents should be communicating with staff. So probably not texting or things like that. The teachers have emails, staff have emails. That would be a good way, and or apps on their Chromebook or like Remind. I know it's unavoidable, but work-life balance is extremely important. And if parents are reaching out all the time or about little things, that's not a great work-life balance for staff. So, and maybe it's just a matter of parents need to be, maybe educated and provided emails or a way or a method of contact to know, like, this is what we prefer you contact the staff through, but if there's an emergency, then there could be exceptions. So it's not just saying, staff are maybe on their phones or anything. I just kind of came at it from 2 different angles there and thought we should think about that. So that was my thoughts on it.
Any other board discussion? Public comment? Public comment?
We were just asking them
Just kidding.
if we get interrupted that much.
So I have had
That's
parents message me at 10:30 at night or, whatever, but I just choose not to respond. I mean, you don't have to say that you saw the message, and so when I'm prepared and if a friend of mine is not really tired, it's maybe a better time because, they might be, what went on today? I heard there was a whatever, and until I'm, prepared to deal with this in a professional manner, then we'll just wait.
Sure.
Do you feel like it's disruptive, as many messages as you get during the
Not
day?
really during the day, because honestly, I don't have time to be sitting on my phone. So, I look at it during my prep time or, in fact, it honestly streamlines things so that they don't have to call ops and honestly, it's more interrupted for the office to call me because I have to go to the phone, answer the phone, stop my teaching thing. Where I get on my phone or on the app, then I can just look at it and usually I'm always gonna have an emergency within the next 2 hours.
Sure. If they do, they'll call the school.
Right, exactly, it's that important.
Any other public comment? Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the certified and classified handbook as presented and table the student handbook until April.
Second that. Mike moved to approve the certified and classified handbooks as presented and table the student handbook until April. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Board comment? Mike moved to approve the classified and certified handbooks as presented and table the student handbook until April. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jumpstart policy.
So we are still working out the possibilities of doing Jumpstart. So what is Jumpstart? Jumpstart is a program that the state pays us half A and B, and it allows us to work with our incoming kindergartner up through incoming third graders. So our kids that aren't in the building, and then our kindergarten first and second graders. It allows us to do reading instruction, reading work with them during the summer. Before we can even really, I talked to the staff about what that might look like, and every one of the staff was like, yes, let me work all summer long. I just can't wait to do that. No, but they, being our staff and being where we are right now, being creative, we started talking about, a week, and then what that also allows us to do is train our staff in kind of some reading things where they're not speaking the same language, but they're talking the same thing. And so the teachers were much more willing to sign up for a week or a couple days versus committing to their whole summer. And then that allows us to have the chance to work with those kids. But the first step before we can do anything with, it's not a grant, it's already in law. So we have to have, the first step is a policy to how we select the kids that go in that. So we're gonna, bottom 10% or you have to set that. So our first step is a policy, and then we can have the conversation about what do we want to do? How are we going to set this up? It has to be 120 hours. So if you start thinking about 120 hours through the summer, every kid is not like an attendance cop making it be there, but we have to provide it for 120 hours. So that's a significant part of the summer. When you start thinking about, we're not going all day, you'd be going, half days. So you start chunking that out over the summer. There is a fair amount of time there. But today, our first step is getting the policy approved for how we're going to, that we're willing to do that and start looking at that program.
So it's posted as information.
Yeah, this is just
only?
informational.
Yes.
Because we have to work on our options.
Because we want to get how we're going to judge that.
Does anybody have any questions about it?
Does it have to be run by certified teachers?
So for every 10 students, you have to have a certified teacher. And if you have 10, if you have more than 10, up to 20, like 10 to 17, 18, if you did that, you'd have a certified teacher. And you have to have a para there as well. You have to have a paraprofessional with it to be at 20, then you have to have two.
And enough money will come in to pay for it.
Yeah, that's how, so the only caveat is with this, because we're in this fiscal year, it will come in next year. So we would, if we did it this year through July 1 is this fiscal year. So then we front load that and then the state reimburses that cost. So that's the only, if there's anything that I don't like about it as much, but oh well, they're still paying for it. You just have to pay up front.
Consent agenda.
I have a question on the consent agenda. So didn't we have another meeting, 11th, 18th, when we hired for the daycare?
Yeah.
I don't think it was one of these. I think it was a different day.
It
Different.
was the same day as IBB in the morning. I totally missed it.
Yeah.
27th.
The 27th.
We'll have
okay.
one more set of minutes for April.
For April, okay. And that was what,
Thank you for
February,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
February 27th.
Yep.
Minutes, okay.
What kind of pests needed controlled?
We have eco ladders come and spray.
Okay.
Whatever pests can come in the building.
Gotcha.
I get concerned when you two don't have all
Is
the
that,
questions on.
that was my only question, I was just curious.
I didn't have many things tonight.
Blankets for
Blankets. What's a kitchen blanket?
Is there any other board discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Motion?
Back to reviewing the handbooks. Maybe what we should do is review May's before the April meeting.
So transportation.
Not from the student.
I mean, what we could do is review all three of them if we wanted to. If there were big changes, then we could table it, or it could just go through. That's an option. Does that sound okay? Lisa, are you fine
So
with
like
that?
have it brought to us like it was today, but have a little discussion before the, yeah.
So the activity and soup one would already have changes in them because they'll be posted to the meeting, but at least we can talk about it. But then
Yes.
transportation, we'll need a discussion, like we'll have some mock up before that. Give us time.
Yeah.
Like just bring it to the board like it was tonight. And then if it needs more.
Then it could be tabled for,
That's
the
fine.
May meeting. Yeah.
but then we're not totally holding it
And
up.
just do 5:30.
I think that's fine, because I plan to look at them before. Can I get copies of all of them?
No.
And then that was one of my requests. Can I please have copies of all the handbooks? Like
Do you want them printed or you want me to just share them with you?
Printed. I'm a paper person. Thank you. Sorry.
I can't read long.
Are you
I
still?
haven't gone to
A
the
screen.
digital world yet.
Are you still in daycare? You're not in daycare anymore, so you just want them free.
I'm on daycare still. Yep.
So you
It's
want
Lisa,
four.
not you. Are you on there?
Three,
Yeah, us three are on there. Mhm.
And there's lots of research that shows reading in your hands is way different value than reading online.
I would say this, for somebody that hasn't always been easy for in my life. It's like I can read and comprehend this far better than if I'm reading something on a screen.
So when is the daycare one again? I know you told me
Daycare
June.
until June.
So we could look at that in May.
Right.
But
I remember May is tend to get lengthy because we've got 2 meetings depending on elections.
I think last year we did it not before the board meeting. It was a different day because
We
then
just did a committee
We did a
meeting
committee
all on
meeting
its
separately.
that's probably what we should do, don't you think?
Could I get a copy of the daycare one too?
Yep, you want to do it? Yep.
Yeah, I just want to, do you want copies?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah, I know already that I'm gonna miss the meeting. That's,
Yes, I was.
Evan and Brittany's babies too. So, that's right, doing the grandma thing.
Raise your hand if you want hard copies.
Do you two want the hard copies now before we look at them make changes, or do you want to?
I just want the daycare one when it's handy to print it.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
pick it up.
me. I'm just wondering what you two are you guys wanting them now?
Those figures will point to
The activity and the student one, or are you wanting them after we have a discussion? If we have it in the next couple weeks, I mean, with plenty of
Yeah,
time
if
to
you
read
give
before
me
the
10
board
days
meeting.
before the meeting, that's good enough, if you don't mind.
When do you start counting?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 20.
All right,
Thank you.
I have one more thing to just.
Hold on, you guys don't have to go through the consent agenda.
Oh, sorry, that-
We have a
I don't want to, I don't want to
Move
step in the motion.
I seconded it.
Mike's
Who would?
moved to
Mike.
approve the consent agenda. Phoebe seconded. Remember, I'll say it twice so you can't screw it up.
Got it.
Is there any public comment? Public comment or discussion? Mike made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Phoebe seconded it. All those in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Okay, so a couple things to just.
All those
plant
opposed,
the
same
seed.
sign, motion passes.
Come on, Earl.
I'm
You're all
sorry.
said aye.
Sorry.
So before summer hits and people get pulled every direction and busy, really truly looking at, Brittany and I visited about having one on a yearly basis, rotating a board meeting one time a year. And so
What's in your where?
one time a year we'd go to Alzada, one time a year we'd go to Hammond or Oxholm and in that area and move the board meeting and not be going there to ask for a levy to pass, not be going, but just having it there. Tentatively, we've looked at that thinking, okay, when's the least crazy time for the board, whether all the other things that impact. And we started thinking that September is probably our best time to do that because it's so busy and all that, but weather usually isn't gonna, put us in a terrible spot, all of those things. So video stream it, but if we put it out, kind of planned it, came our yearly, so say next year we're in Alzada, 2026, we'd be in Hammond or Oxholm right there, and the next year we'd be back in Alzada, just so they know, so just think about it, think about what would be good about September or October, so that we can start kind of laying that out. And then, don't forget, you'll get lots of reminders from me that make sure we're talking about those meetings to get people there. Make sure we know that, and we will potentially have an online one, because there was a request for that. But we're gonna get through the initial ones so that we can, hopefully get questions that we're seeing come up and use that time to address those questions online, so that people hear that information. That's it.
And please note, the project manager will be here on the 25th for that one. That's the only one who will be here in person for. So if you've got people that like to ask questions and the hard questions, we'll be on site.
Good time.
Yes. For them to get the information direct from him. Tyler.
Yeah, that is one I would probably recommend recording. So that you can get those hard questions, people can see it.
Figure that out.
Or streaming here.
So I have to do the toggle room.
We got time. And I guess all those other, you did see it, Chamber of Commerce is having their social mixer annual meeting, which they haven't had in a few years. It's a good thing, but it's actually gonna be in the toggle room. There's free food again on St. Patrick's Day. The annual meeting's at 4, then dinner is afterwards. They're gonna be One of the things that the chamber did this year is they bought a new projector and an outdoor movie screen to help create different events for the community. They're gonna have that on, they're gonna be showing a movie about Eglaka on that day, just to kind of highlight that inside. But it's free food and it's a good chance to kind of see what the chamber is. I am pretty excited the chamber is a great partner to the school this year, so.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
No, I have. I just have two questions. I'm still learning what everything is on the financial statement. So what is the money to the debt service?
Which one are you, which page are you looking at?
Okay, that would be 131.
Okay, so 131 was last year's.
Oh, okay. And so what was the?
And so is it the two, which debt service are you looking at, 160 or 150 or 160? 150 or 250? 150.
Well, there's one for
13, 40, 44.
333,000.
130 increase that way back. Percentage of that.
I know you can charge bond stuff to your debt service still, even, so like this year, if I had money in 250, I can charge bond fees or building fees to that. So I'm gonna go look it up because I don't have the answer for you.
Okay, and then back on page 130, what is the interlocal agreement?
So your interlocal agreement is your agreement between the two schools. So what that means is, you don't get any saving grace for not spending all your general fund money. So if they give you $7 million for a budget and you spend 6.9, you don't get any high fives for not spending 100,000. Most schools, it can't go anywhere. And we have an interlocal agreement between the high school and the grade school. And so with budget amendments, we can move budgeted money into that interlocal if there's money left.
Oh, okay.
And so that is kind of our quote unquote savings pot.
Oh, okay.
So, and then anything can be paid out of there just like your general fund. It does require board approval to move funds though, just so you guys know that, so.
Sorry.
You
You can say
just have to be
something else.
curious, I'm going back to look at what that was. I should log out of the accounting software.
It had a beginning balance of over 300,000. Is that helpful?
Well, but we had that one more fee last year, so remember we paid, but that wasn't until probably June, we paid that last bond, so that might have been interest, I think.
Yeah.
Because they come in two separate invoices. I'm thinking it was just the interest payment or the fee payment, and then we pay the whole remainder of the elementary grade school. Sorry, just takes a minute to order work up.
I don't have to have an answer tonight. I just.
got it.
I was
It
just
just,
curious.
it just took me a second. I'm pretty sure it's US Bank. It just took me a second to get there.
It's okay. It's fine.
I'm really feeling my shoulder, so I can see what just fell out. I only got 6 more pages, Rena. Hang with me. I'm scanning fast. It's not even on there. Ah. I didn't write through the whole month.
So, that's one day, number 3? Number 5? You see which ones?
There's 8 twins.
I'm the oldest one.
9.
I'll get you an answer.
Okay.
I'm almost for certain it's the fees
Okay.
for the end of the bond for the elementary school.
All right.
Because then we paid the rest of $300,000 out in June.
That would make sense.
Go for it.
Move to adjourn.
Are you sure?
Anyone opposed? We adjourn.
Thanks, Dave.
It's 8.
Hey, Dave, are you still there?
Nope. He hung up.
I was gonna ask you for a personal text when they're gonna turn the electricity off. I didn't know about that today. And I was off.
Yeah.
Yes. So I got new kitchen appliances.
Whoever.
And
Because I have that room.
first of all, I had a food for dinner, so I'm glad I got my dinner. And then,
But it's from 10.
they were hauling in the.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that
I
was
was
like.
You know,
If it's
Jeff
something
turned,
wrong, I'm blaming,
shut the
I'm
breaker
blaming
off.